Greetings and welcome back to SmartWatchTix.com, where we also review smart rings. And RingConn has released a new version of their Gen 2, second generation, called the Gen 2 Air, and it's a brilliant idea. We're going to tell you all about that in just a moment. First, I want to tell you where you can get it and what it'll cost. Directly from their website, RingConn is offering the Gen 2 Air in two different colors. There's a silver and a rose gold one for $199. Now, their original one, the Gen 2, is $100 more, $299. Comes in 4 different colors, and we're going to get into detail about that with you shortly. First, let's unbox it. While I'm doing that, I want to let you know, guys, I don't know where we are when you're watching this, but we're in the middle of a strange tariff situation going on globally. A lot of my samples are hung up in shipment. So there may be delays in Mr. Tick's videos coming up for a few weeks. If so, I totally apologize. I'm not able to get stuff in any more than you are. We hope all that will be resolved soon. Until then, let's move forward with the ring. Now, you notice there's a ring here. This is the actual Gen 2, and this is the Gen 2 Air. We're going to compare both of those together so you can look at them, along with a couple of more. But in the unboxing, you see there's the ring itself. Then you've got a little packet of information here. Their user's manual of sorts, couple of them. And now you get into the charger. And this is a sweet little charger, USB connecting here with any USB wire you've got, but of course they're going to ship you one in the box too that has the USB-C on both ends. And plug it in, and when you drop the ring on here, this will glow white and it'll start to pulse until it's fully charged, and then you just simply take it off. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit deeper about the charger as well. Let's keep moving. Look at the ring. We have it broken down on this chart, kind of a comparison, because I know you want to know, well, what's the difference between the basic Gen 2 and the Gen 2 Air? I don't have it here, but I have the RingConn Gen 2, and everything about the Air is exactly the same except for 2 things that I've found. The weight, actually 3. The weight, it's a little bit lighter. The battery lifetime, 10 to 12 days. It's a little bit shorter on the Air. And then the biggie is the OSA, which is the sleep apnea measurement that is in the basic Gen 2 and not at all in the Gen 2 Air. In comparison with the other rings on the market, like the Galaxy and the Aura and the 2 different versions that they've got, you can check the pricing here, and they really jump up. Well, even $299 is a bit out of the price range for some folks. So the Gen 2 Air is $199, $100 off, and really the only thing it's missing, and you'll see that in the app, is the sleep apnea. So if you're not in that part of life or in that medical condition where you need to monitor that, why pay $100 extra to have it in your device, right? There's a page 2 to this. Let's take a quick look at it. I'll let you skim, because I know you're comparing all these different rings to see which one you probably want to wear on your finger and how much you want to pay for it. They all are good rings, and they differ significantly in the apps and how the apps work. And we have a bunch of reviews up. Come on, my fancy paper technique here. Oh, yeah. We have a bunch of reviews of all these different smart rings, all put together in a playlist that you can get to at bit.ly/smartringreviews. So we're not going to break it down into minutia detail here in evaluating this ring because, guys, it's exactly the same as this one, just missing the sleep apnea in terms of its functionality. But I do want to show you some visual comparisons up close and personal, and you can see how similar they are. Very interesting, yeah? They got the diodes on the side. Looks like the build is pretty much the same, yeah? The thinness or thickness, whichever way you want to call it, they're the same. There's a little difference here that there's a little spot now on the air. I'm too close to the camera, that you don't find on the Gen 2. And this is where you want to line this thing up to put it at the base of your finger, because that's where the diodes and the sensors are. So on this one, what I would do is I would feel my finger around the edge and get it right where it needs to be and then slide it down. But now you have a visual. So if this is slid off a little bit, you can quickly look, rotate that spot down, and you're back where you need to be. Sweet. How about the Aura Ring or the Ultra Human? Yeah, it's a comparison video. Physically wise, now, this is the old original Aura, I don't know, 6, 7 years old now, still in good condition body-wise. It's thicker. It's a slightly different size, so it's going to look a little smaller. The way it looks on the interior, got its sensors down here. Most of them are doing that. There's 2 green diodes on the side and a red and an infrared one in the middle. Now the Ultra Human is a much beefier watch. It's bigger. It's got kind of a single bump in the middle of it, down there, where all the electronics are. And again, it's kind of tricky to figure out where it is on your finger, but I feel for that little spot, and then you slide it on your finger to line that up with the base of your finger. There's a few others. There's Circular, and there's Omni, and there's Nova, and it just goes on and on. But the real sweet thing about this, and then we're going to switch to the app, is that the brand new Gen 2 Air comes in at a really sweet spot price-wise. In the full playlist, you'll see a bunch of reviews of some inexpensive ones. They do basic functions. They're under $50. Then you see these, $300, $400, $500. All of those are in the higher category. This one, the original Gen 2, is already about $100 less than these and fully capable. And now, just pulling out the sleep apnea function, you can drop it another $100 and get into a ring that not only can you afford at $200 less with a coupon discount. Check the show notes. I try to always have a good coupon discount for you. But at the same time, you get all of the same functionality and quality that you see in the app as the original, with a good price savings and a very attractive ring. Okay, let's switch over and compare the apps for both of these. It's the same app, but the way they look and how they function. So I picked the same day, but similar data on both of these to show you, because they're pretty much back and forth the same. The Android phone has the original Gen 2 data. Been wearing it for a long time, so got a lot of extensive data on here. The new Gen 2 Air here is on iOS with my trusty Apple 13 Mini. And the app is the same, like I said, on both platforms. So what you see is this kind of a clover leaf in the middle that breaks down by how filled in they are, the level of details and activity that you've had in sleep, overall activity, vital signs, and relaxation. You can tap this little diamond up here and change it into a different kind of an analysis. The light blue and the dark blue show you a comparison of today with your 7-day average and so forth. Deep review of this entire app and everything you're going to see and all the sub-details is in the Gen 2 review. I'll have a link in the show notes, and hop over there if you're seriously interested. Watch that one and just know that everything that you see there will work for the Air, the Gen 2 Air, and will work in the iPhone as well as over on Android. So after you look at these, and you can tap on any of these and go into these categories, or you can get your overall summaries. Here's like your sleep information, your activity in terms of step count, calories burned, your stress, your vital signs, and so forth. And as you can see, those are pretty much the data that we've got. Now, here you're seeing period forecast. That's because on this one I registered myself as a female to be able to activate that. And ladies, you can set all this stuff up. I got another thing working. All right, I promise I'll stand up when the review's over. Apple, I love it. Period forecasts, ovulation forecasting, all that stuff is available to you. And it would be on here too at the same place in the app if this were registered female. But it's not. Now here's where the difference difference comes in. And this is the sleep apnea monitoring for an extra $100 that you're going to get on the Gen 2, not on the Air. So let's dive into that one. What it does is it monitors your sleep for like 3 days and does an overall assessment. If you hit reassess, it starts everything over, new 3 days, and it'll go through there. Now, it'll tell you if it's detected anything, says no anomalies detected, and we're not monitoring right now because it monitors in a 3-day zone and then holds at that point. So if I come in here, it'll tell you about it. It shows you the monitoring data, your blood oxygen, percentage of time with the blood oxygen below 90%. Guys, this will catch it. You know, this is especially over a 3-day period, monitoring all night long. If you are holding your breath, if you're constricted, it should be able to find that out and let you know. And then you're done. You have the test, you see what's going on, then you intervene however you would like to with medical intervention, weight loss, breathing on your side, medical apparatus that you wear, whatever is appropriate for you. And then you can come back and do the assessment again. If you're fortunate enough not to have any kind of sleep abnormalities, and this is not of necessary or of interest to you, then leaving this off, and you'll come right back to here, and you just go down, and the last thing is that notes section. Oh, we're back here still on the description here. All of your records, FAQs, all this is still under the sleep apnea monitoring. Come back to the main page now. You're at notes, and that's it. So really an economical way to get into a very good smart ring with all of the standard features minus the sleep apnea right here. You have also this plan, whole new thing where you can join and have AI partner generate a weekly balance plan for you. Exactly the same. No subscriptions, free. And it works off of your own personal data and gets smarter and more tuned to you the more data you have. Hit the AI button. And this one I haven't really activated yet, but it explains what it is, your RingConn Health Partner. This one, I've done it for a long, long time. All these are reports that come back to me. Most of it's about how I slept the last night. Your sleep is over, your nap is over, but there's interspersed in here issues that I had that I asked questions about. It's a straight-on AI Q&A back and forth, and it's totally available, totally for free, and totally contoured to your own personal data on the device, right? Then you can do trend analysis in here. Here's some interesting stuff. Shows you your sleep, stress, activity scores, vital signs, and notes that you can cover. Now the data is strictly from the Gen 2, strictly from the Gen 2 Air. So you can see the data correlates fairly well. This is trend, so this is a 7-day average. Now I haven't really done a full 7 days with this yet, and maybe with longer this will gravitate more to meet the same exact numbers or very close to it. But they're within plus or minus 10% right now. So I'm seeing a good correlation between both rings and how they operate. The last tab is for me, and that's where you put in your personal information and all of that. So that's kind of the app and how this whole thing works. And it's in the insights area that you're getting most of the information and your overall synopsis right here in this fun little clover leaf. Now, I mentioned at the beginning, I also wanted to talk about the chargers. This is the brand new Air charger. This is the standard Gen 2 charger, and much bigger, much bulkier, and something interesting. When they made these, this was a Kickstarter project, if you remember. When you watch my review, they were still in that mode. And they were, at that time, making each charger individually contoured for the size of the ring. You notice how that's a smaller center than this one is? These are some of the early prototype models that we brought in. Look how thick they are. Look how fun. Look how they've evolved. Really, really neat. But anyway, this is the charging dock that you'll get if you order the more expensive Gen 2, right? And this is the more refined, smaller one that's a universal size. You just take the ring off, find where your electrical pins are, tap it on there. See the green diodes are going off right now. You plug your USB in and you can charge it. Now this one you have to plug in to get it to charge. These have batteries in them and you can charge it, you know, take it in your pocket or on a vacation or whatever and charge it from there. That's an extra benefit too if you want to spend the extra money. So in addition to getting the sleep apnea monitoring for the extra $100, you're also getting kind of a better grade of overall charger. But this works fine, and yeah, as far as I can tell, to make sure I got the right ring, this is the original Gen 2, and I can pop it into the same charger. Now, you don't see the diodes flashing. That had nothing to do with the electricity. But the pins made up and connect, and likewise, if it's the right size for the ring, you can drop this in there, and it'll charge from the original Gen 2. So if you're inclined to want to be able to get the Gen 2 Air, but actually pick up one of these chargers, make sure that you let them know that it's for whatever ring size that you have ordered for the Air. Getting a little confusing there, but just work it out, and you could end up, if you want to, having like a night bedstand charger and then another portable one that you take with you. But all in all, the two rings, they are very, very functional, very good data. The app is straightforward and gives you a lot of information. Compare. I advise you to really look at the other rings on the market, especially considering at $200, most of them are twice the price. They come in at $399 to $699. Even the Galaxy ring, it's up there. But for this, RingConn Gen 2 Air at $199, really good deal. Really good ring, introductory ring that can give you a lot of accurate and depth in data and trends for a ring that very attractive, thin, lightweight, thinner and smaller than the others on the market. I'm impressed. I think it's a good one. That's it for today, guys. And again, apologies for having to delay some of the upcoming videos, including some Android smartwatches. Really neat stuff coming in soon. Soon, I hope. As soon as all of this traffic is settled down with the tariffs and we can get back to business. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon, and I really appreciate the likes and stopping by, and set that bell to ring so if it might be a week or two before I get another video out, at least you'll know he's back. Okay, bye.